Today, it's called Losing the War Against Reality. I was thinking about my senior quote in high school. It was, "I'm losing the war against reality," said the olive to the toothpick. And I didn't quite understand what I meant by it at the time, but this is kind of how time works. I don't believe time is totally linear. What That now makes perfect sense to me. Olive to the toothpick, it implies that's about a martini. It's, alcohol, but that wasn't. I'm losing the war against reality, said the olive to the toothpick. It's like an olive can't talk to a toothpick. You can't beat reality. Logos, God, truth, it's all the same. You can't make something that's true false, and you can't make something that's false true, no matter how hard you try. Look at this. This is profound. And this isn't despair. It's not that you can't vote or anything like that, but just look. In 2000, you had two options. You could pick this man, George W. Bush, who did the Patriot Act, started a bunch of wars. Or your other option was Albert Gore Jr., who is a fraudulent grifter psychopath. Both of them would have done 9/11. There was no, you couldn't have, you're dealing with a coin where you can't win. And so I'm not telling you not to vote, or I'm not telling you not to, take part in the American Republic or whatever. I'm not doing that. I'm telling you that our culture, our society, it all has to do with us. Like our lives, how we raise our kids, what we eat, do we pray? And at that point, your choices aren't this horrible. In 2000, which was the peak of hedonistic, open border, open legs America, before things really started taking a turn in 2001 because of 9/11 and all that. Look at this. These were your options. I mean, that's profound. Sick coin, dude? Yeah. And that is a lot of silver, but I will never be selling it. I think this is one of those things that is a collector's. This means something for me. Sometimes people are like, this penny has a buffalo on it and some Indian, so it's worth like $1 million. I'm like, that's worth nothing to me. This is powerful. You got George W. and you got Al Gore. Like, who's the right answer? And then, I'm losing the war against reality, said the olive to the toothpick. It's just... And the president still has to do what the people will. If... I know that sounds crazy because they never seem to do that, but a lot of people aren't actively asking for it. Think about how many people are still saying that the chemtrails in the sky are contrails. Or, oh no, that's the exhaust from airplanes, even though they never did until the 2000s. Until around 2010, 2009, planes had a whole different system, even though the planes are 40 years old that you fly in. And now it's like making a crisscross over all major cities, and especially during sunrise and sunset. But it's just, there's nothing to see here. That's consent. It's like, I can't find a rack on a map, but I'm going to go shoot me some camel niggers. I've heard people say shit like that. Consent. That's how you end up with this. You have Al Gore, one of the biggest grifters who ran one of the biggest scams in the history of the world, global warming. And then you have George W. Bush, Patriot Act. That comes when people can't see past the binary. How do you see past the binary? You demand more. When enough people are saying, like, there's something wrong here. Why are we in Afghanistan? I thought, why are we in Iraq? Because of 9/11. Like, these people are our judges. Look, and they'll never be our judges. Like, look at this guy. That guy, there's not a baby he doesn't want to eat. Look at him. Look at that just robot pedo face. That's the one who lets me on still. Look at her. I mean, can you imagine? Do you understand how much booze it would require for a red-blooded heterosexual man to be aroused by that. Oh, God. And then you got this guy. Look at him. Look at who judges you. That's the face of a nightmare. Like every single girl who's ever been raped has woken up after being drugged to that face. Or a face like it. I'm not saying he's raped every girl in the world. But that is someone you keep away from your... And then look at this guy, Jack Dorsey. Oh, that guy's like, oh, now you have to respect me and my big ears and my weird, fat, skinny body. They don't get to judge us. But every woman knows. That's why women hate gamma males. They hate them. Look at this face. Hang on. Look at this face. They know that that's the face of a rapist. Like women instinctively know that that's the face of a rapist. Allegedly, maybe, my opinion. So when they look at something like that, and then they realize, and one of the biggest red flags when it comes to this type of stuff is when they're kicking out all the alpha males and all the bravos and all the good deltas because Secret King... And by the way, I'm not saying that guy's a rapist. I'm saying that's a rapey looking face. They all claim people like me are the ones that women shouldn't be around. You know, the nerds all are like, oh, the alpha jocks, they're the ones that rape. Guys like me and my buddies, we're the ones that protect women. And every woman knows that. That's why they're attracted to the alpha, bravo, delta types. And the gamma types, the ones feeding you booze and call you up right after a breakup and like make you feel real guilty and then get all rapey. Like that's not alpha behavior. That's not bravo behavior. That's not delta behavior. That's gamma behavior. And so women instinctively stay away from these men. And these men, one of the reasons that they're trying to make the world upside down is they're literally trying to expel all strong men. Because a strong man, when they find what they're going to do to these women, which they do, the man beats them. Possibly kills them. Because this type of face, and again, I'm not making any claims about this guy personally, but that type of face, you know, it's like when you see that face over a woman, you know, someone like me is like, just boom, you know, the boys are back in town. And then you rescue the woman and the woman thanks you. And so that's all it is. They're all Satanists. Yeah, but here's the thing about Satanists is they're such gamma pussies. They like the devil because the devil makes them, the devil stokes their victim narrative. Oh, poor baby, I'll take away your pain. I'll give you all your slowies. Oh, God is such a bad man. Oh, he's so bad. God, so bad. Yeah, he made you not watch the pornos and he doesn't think you should get all the pussy in the world even though you're a fucking loser. Yeah, the devil. Oh. That's all it is. It's not like this. Part of me thinks that Satanists are the ones that make the devil look all like jacked with horns and like fire. Rah! No, the devil is mold. It's not a jacked goat man. No, that's almost like fan fiction. It's like fan art of the devil. The devil isn't this like, rah, the devil. No. The devil's like, oh, come here, poor baby. Oh, you want it? Oh, I give you pussy. Oh, my daddy's so bad. I got such a bad daddy. Oh. The devil is not a jacked, horned goat man. That would be more along the lines of a demon or a monster. The devil is Gollum. Yeah, but it's the Gollum's Gollum. To the point where Tolkien just described him as just an eyeball. They're not strong. The devil is the ultimate gamma. The ultimate, they only stab you in the back. They only ankle bite. They try and take out all the alpha males because then they get a shot at the children and the women. You have to understand how disgusting these people are. They prey on children and women. That's why they want women single, aborting babies, in a cubicle. You know, that's because they want them vulnerable. They're hunters. They're hunters of women and children. Pedophiles prey on children without dads, with mothers that are easily corruptible by status. That's why you'll see pedophiles get a lot of status Because then single women will say, "Oh, don't say anything bad about him. He has all the money and the status. Oh, you should feel happy that he gives you attention." And there's no male. Because a male says, "Stay the fuck away from my kid, Jack Dorsey, or I will break your jaw with a hammer." Because that's the language these people understand. Jack Dorsey, if Jack Dorsey was anywhere near my area, I would be like, "You stay away from the kids or I'll break your jaw." You know? Because it's like a look, and they just go, oh. It's like, it's insane. And right now, more gamma males will probably take that clip and say, "Oh, Owen just threatened Jack Dorsey. Oh, it doesn't work anymore. You're losing the war against reality." It's like that hit piece ability is gone because people don't trust you anymore. People don't trust the media. They don't trust Right Wing Watch. They don't trust Vice News. You guys promote pedophiles openly. So when you, like what I just said, and thousands of people will attest that when people say, "Oh, Owen called for violence," I said, if anyone comes at my mom, I will give the green light for action. And everyone relates to that. Not only is that acceptable, every mom and woman would view me as a good son. And then they frame it like, "Oh, he wants to come at the Jew. He wants to come at the poor Jew. Just simply wants to poison your well." Oh, no. And you're losing the war against reality because the only way they can manipulate on this mass level. Yeah, BB loves to grab her away. Oh yeah, the devil's a little gamma fuckface. Exactly. Oh, Lucifer's former beauty means nothing to the lake of fire that he and his social media buddies are destined for. I don't know what that even means. You're right. Devil is gamma, the jealous one. So, oh, beyond. And like the devil doesn't lift weights. He's not jacked. Those images of like the horned, jacked guy is not the devil. The devil looks a lot more like these social media losers. Like this is a lot more like, look at that guy. Like this. Not that guy. That guy's cool. But like that is what the devil looks like. That's literally like the precious boy, the special boy. The one that doesn't have to follow God's law because he's so fucking special and smart. He's such a smart boy with his big open mouth. Let's watch this one more time.
Still waiting on that heifer, Julio. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.
Because over time, people start wondering, like, what do they hate about Owen so much? Enough people have seen me live, seen me on TV, seen my live streams, even the craziest clips that people take out of context. It's like, it's not that bad. And especially with mainstream media becoming so perverse and so disgusting that the normal people are starting to be like, wait a minute, why can't he? I'm not allowed to exist on Patreon, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Wiped. And it's like, the average person is now like, this is insane. Because the more I stand my ground, the more I resist this, the more I don't kneel, the more obvious it's getting. That's why every single person can reveal truth. The devil sounds very Jewish. It's not a Jew thing though. It isn't. I think it's gamma. Gamma's the perfect way to describe it. There isn't enough, look at this. So you have George W. Bush and you have Al Gore. Heads I win, tails you lose, right? It's the same with the Jew stuff. It's like you can't articulate evil by just saying like Jews or Muslims or Christians or Americans or British or Nigerians or whatever. You just can't do that. It's about who you serve, who is your master. Because all that stuff like falls short of communication. Did you guys know that a lot of these astronomers and a lot of these people with like huge telescopes and stuff, they don't let you look at anything except for approved sites on the moon? That's pretty interesting, no? Like when you find out that the Vatican doesn't let you look through their library or archives. It's the same with like Neil deGrasse Tyson and the planetarium. They don't let you look at anything. Lunar wave is BS. That's not true. Like, it's not BS. Watch this. Oh, well, according to my records, according to Neil My Ass Tyson.
We know is it usually occurs very near full moon. There's a couple of pieces of footage where there's a slight phase in the moon. You're looking at one right now on the screen, but most of them are very near full. So if you have the ability to film, even if it's only for 10 or 15 minutes, there's 20,000 people that are subscribed to this channel. If even a fraction of the people here go out, on any given night and just film for a few minutes, we might get quite a bit of footage stacking up. And
yeah, all right. So that's mind-blowing. And by the way, if you say, oh, that's fake, it's fake, you're banned. I've looked into this extensively. It's absolutely not fake, to the point where, Newsweek did a hit piece on Crow, and then they stopped doing hit pieces because he's been able to show exactly how not fake it is. Don't say, oh, it's fake, it's fake, it's fake. It's not. I've looked into this for like 100 hours. Not only is it real, it's so real that there's an argument that that's one of the reasons they're doing so much chemtrails. Because you can now see waves of the firmament. And he's like, oh, it's fake. No, it isn't. Talk to optics experts. One of the big things that people are doing now with optics experts is figuring out the distance of a pixel. And that way you can tell the size of the fake ISS. It's not even close, what they're showing us. And this is one of the reasons that the monsters are thrashing. That the grip is waning. Because some of these big, big lies, like the World War II narrative, the 9/11 narrative, the moon landing narrative, all these narratives, the evolution, all this stuff, they need these narratives in place or else human beings don't go along with the program. And we outnumber them 999 to 1. And that's generous. It's the smallest amount of people you can imagine that are just gamma males, these weak little men, sodomites. They run this deal. And the reason they get away with it is these narratives. And I'm happy that I'm on dlive and not on Fox News, because I don't want to take on the beast head on. That sounds awful. I take it on the way I do, which is just with my people. I want you guys to have children, have homesteads, pray to God. Don't want to be the beast. One of the biggest problems in human history, Vox was talking about this yesterday, when people are like, well, when Mean Mr. Mustache tried to take on the beast, they've been cucked ever since. And Vox brought up a great point, which a lot of these alt retards don't want to hear, is Hitler was a terrible leader. I should have said Mean Mr. Mustache. I think what I'm saying right now is actually illegal in like 8 cucked countries. But just any honest conversation about World War II. He won. And then he proceeded to try and build an empire. That's what happens every time. That's why these people just don't know when to stop. Hitler, Hilario, Adolfo, Mean Mr. Mustache, in the 30s, he beat the banks. And then he was like, oh, and then he just went crazy. And I know that all these people are going to be like, oh, well, there was Germans in the Rhineland and Sudetenland, and he had to get back Russia. No, he was trying to build an empire. When you want to be the beast, they'll take you out bad. That's why a lot of these Clinton suicides and shit, because these are people trying to take the Clintons' place in the pyramid. And so then they're whacked and they're humiliated. It doesn't matter. Stalin was one of the most evil people who's ever lived. I don't care at all what the public narrative is about the Holocaust. Rather, Hitler could have killed 20 million, and it doesn't change the fact that I get to make fun of Ben Shapiro. Don't do this. One side is Al Gore and one side is George W. Bush. Unless the coin can land on its edge, you lose just by flipping. Don't get into the problem where it's depending on how many Jews died in the Holocaust is how much speech you are allowed. You already lose. So if it's 200,000, you get more speech and they're less victimy. 6 million. Guys, this has been a scam since fucking the pharaohs. The Jews have been complaining about shit since literally the pharaohs. They're never going to stop. It's their culture. They go, oh. It doesn't matter how many Jews got killed in World War II. A lot of people got killed in World War II. It doesn't matter. Like, there's people that have experienced more trauma in their lifetime. We're talking about something 80 years ago. This whole heads I win, tails you lose. Just like, that's why I don't obsess over the number of the Holocaust. Oh, was it 20 million? Did Stalin kill more? Was it really 9 gay guys who died in a rollerblade accident? What it was has nothing to do with what rights you're allowed now and how much guilt you should feel. You didn't do it. No one alive did shit. And they're going to make a legacy and myth and lore, and they're going to try and get some sort of birthright and victim status forever. Guys, they did it for thousands of years. Thousands. Thousands. The pharaohs. When Israel was in Egypt's land, let my people go. Oppressed so hard they could not stand, let my people go. Or you could have just built the fucking pyramids and shut up. Everybody has to do work. They're not the only people in the world that's had to build a pyramid. Everybody builds shit. Did the Irish and Italian in New York City sing songs like that about the Empire State Building? When Italy was in New York land, let my people go. Oppressed so hard that... No, they just build the skyscrapers. Jews did not build the pyramids. It doesn't matter. The least they could do is help out with the pyramids. It's the least they could do. They're in Egypt, just like they're currently in America, and it's like, you just ask them to help out at all. Will you help me move, Saul? No, I'm oppressed. You can't help out at all? I'm just packing a truck. Oh, what's next? What's next? It's like, people get so... Dude, it's this fucking coin. Again. Well, the Jew didn't build the pyramids. It doesn't matter if they did or they didn't. The least they could do is help out with the pyramids. Everyone was helping with the pyramids. It was clearly a team effort. And all they had to do was just help a little bit. And so the fact that one Jew probably moved one brick, all of a sudden you have this whole victim narrative for thousands of years where they're like, when Israel was in... I remember singing that in fucking Catholic Sunday school when I was a kid. And I remember, even when I was like 5 years old, I remember thinking, these guys suck. I really thought that when I was a very little kid. It was like, let my people go. I'm like, but you're free now, though. Where's the rejoicing? That's why I've become quite big on the gospel. It's like, where... I can see this becoming a Mountain Bear skit. It's like... But aren't you super happy that now you're great? Like, you own Google. You own Google. And they're like, when Adolfo Hitlerio was in Russian land, let my people... It's like, but you're free. And the least you could have done is help with the pyramids. Everybody helped. And it's like people were just drinking beers and building pyramids. It's a great time. And of course, one group had to write songs about it and bitch for literally thousands of years. That's why it doesn't matter how many people died in the Holocaust. If it was one guy who stubbed his toe, we'd still have all these Netflix specials. One guy stubs his toe, and it would just be like, oh, what's next? What's next? The stub is Rogan, Joe Rogan. I just don't get why they couldn't just help out with the pyramids. Just made a clip here to watch. Oh, sweet. You guys make a lot. Giants build pyramids. I can't prove anything about the pyramids. All I'm saying is, if you're offered beers, like if I offered a Jewish man beers and said, here's some beers, help me move. And they'd be like, what next? What's next? Genocide? It's like, dude, back in Egypt, people were offered beers and they're like, the least you can do is help out with the pyramid. And the Jew was like, hey, give us a hand with these pyramids. How dare you? How dare you? And they probably owned the pyramids. This is the worst part. The Jews probably owned the pyramids, and they were just asked to help build them at all. And the Jews probably charged rent to everybody to use their fucking pyramids. And they were like, what's next? Genocide? So I can't just own the pyramids and charge unlimited debt? I have to move the blocks now too? Oh, I'm so impressed. Oh, I'm so impressed. And the whole 40 years in the desert is probably like a week. Yeah, the pyramids were built way before that. I don't know. I have no idea. It also could have been built in the 70s, the way things are going these days. The what's next is always so funny, BB. Of course, the grab word voice. Yeah. What's next? Genocide? Do you know how much of a spell breaker that whole bit has been? This is Comedy Gold. Just canceled Netflix. Sweet. All you need is the Bears. Because it's constant from the ADL and SPLC and stuff. They say what's next genocide all the time. Same with how dare you. Like, it doesn't work on you anymore, right? I've helped free you. 40 years in the desert, is that? No, it's probably a week. It's probably 1 week without color television. And they're like, eh. If the Jews built the pyramids, they would have just hitched for 40 years and got nothing done. Bitched. They also would have been built that, they wouldn't have been built that well. They clearly didn't. That's why you can't win with victim narratives. My point isn't to get mad at the Jews. Because the more you get mad at them and the more you attack them, the more fuel they have. That's what they run on. You know how America runs on Duncan? Well, Jews run on shame. So what's the answer? There is no answer except for focus on yourself and your family and what you believe is good. That's the only way. Trust me, I've ran a lot of scenarios. If you attack in any way, that's what they fuel on. Then they're like, what is next? Genocide? I'm telling you guys, don't take their loans. Don't watch their pornography. Don't feel bad for them for nonsense made up historical events. Don't take their pharmaceuticals. Don't fight their wars. That's a checklist of 5 things. If you do that, you will no longer be angry at Jews. In fact, you will see them as pretty funny. I swear to God. Like, if you disengage, don't take their pills, don't fight their wars, don't watch their porn, don't consume their media, and I forgot the other one. Did I say don't watch their pornos? But if you do that, you won't get mad at them because they don't affect you. And that's the only way to get through it. Trust me, I've been through this. If you want a little update, here you go. This is what I've been through recently. Hang on, where's this video? Where is it? When Israel was in Egypt's land, when my people
Still waiting on that heifer, Julio. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.
Yeah, that's all it is. Just, you don't need revenge. Vengeance is for the Lord's. Because there's no such thing as the Jews. David Weiss, Tyler Goldstein. I'm just Dave Smith. None of them act like that. It's a group that has co-opted the word Jew, and they just... Ben Shapiro, for example. President Kushner is legislating speech on Jews. Oh, I know. It's going to backfire, guys. This is not good for Jews. You guys know that, right? To say it's not good for college campuses either. Oh, here's another one. Don't go to college. They're now saying you can't criticize anything about Jews or Israel at state-funded college campuses. So what's the answer, guys? Violence? No. You're now free from college. If only I knew that, I wouldn't have had to spend like $40,000 on college. Don't go. That's it. Do the Jewish elites and the media conspire with each other, or do they all individually have dual? I have no idea. I don't care because I don't watch it. It's so freeing to never watch the news. It's not real. Don't watch porn. That's it. Don't go to college. The Jew are Pharisees. There's more than just Jews that are Pharisees. And I have read the Bible. Do you want to get banned for life? The Jews are Pharisees. Read the Bible. I'm pretty sure there's a lot more than just Jews that are Pharisees. And if you don't know that, you're a liar. I'd love to see your church with a nice big rainbow flag out front of it and talk to you about what Pharisee means. Fucking liar. Colleges teach you what to think, not how that. Right. BB, thank you for streaming so often. Oh, that's why I'm here, Overton Window Bear. Thanks for the diamond. Yeah, you're now free from college. They just showed you where not to go. That's how this works, right? Think of it in terms of fighting. Every time you strike or every time you make a move, you are opening up something that's vulnerable. You can't just strike without someone knowing how to do something to you. When they say you can't criticize Israel or the Jew at college campuses, what does that tell you? College campuses are fucked. Don't go. Their diplomas will be worthless. There's no value there. And by the way, do you think that will alleviate tensions with Jews? No. I'm the guy I'm like the least angry at Jews of like anyone in the world. Like I seriously don't care. Hi, Mountain Bear, yes. The only truth the Jews ever gave the world is the Holy Bible. Well, no, again, Dave Weiss has given the world a tremendous amount of truth. He is a Jew. Dave Smith, Tyler Goldstein. I know I'm using specifics because to break the spell of the construct of the Jews, you have to use individuals. Okay, Steven Crowder claims to be a Christian. He is Pharisee. Fact. You can't get around that. He lies for money and instills fake rule. He corrupts for money. He's Pharisee, in my opinion. I shouldn't say that. Man, how do I not judge him? I don't fucking know. He seems like a fucking sodomite to me. This is mind blowing. The Japanese government. Does that look familiar, guys? You have an obelisk. You have spider webs. 1 peso. This is from Philippines. That's fascinating. This is why they don't want you to talk. And this, Duterte. But look at that. What are the odds? Guys, what are the odds that when Japan occupied the Philippines, they happened to also love these big pointy wieners called obelisks that are also Osiris's penis? And what are the odds that they also have a dollar that looks a lot like ours with all the creepy spider webs and owl imagery? It's almost like it's an international body that doesn't know any country boundaries. And they operate out of little pointy wiener places. No, America, man. You know, like, does this look at all familiar, guys? These are called social contracts. These are social contracts, guys. It's the same font. It's literally the same color.